A couple of days ago, we got some huge news from the James Webb Telescope, which might have shown city lights on a planet 45 million light years away. This could be the proof of alien civilization that the humanity has been searching for. And this story was broken by absolutely everybody. Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about it, infamously saying that he's skeptical about UFOs and things like this. And every outlet was looking at this whole story just in utter awe. So we're going to be looking at all the information today, or as much of it as I could get my hands on, because this could be a true game changer. So the first video that we're going to take a little look at is from the channel Space News Unfold, which simply states James Webb Telescope just discovered city lights near Earth. Let's take a little look at what they have to say.
Ever looked up at the night sky and wondered if there's more out there, like cities full of lights similar to ours? Imagine this. The James Webb Space Telescope has just made a groundbreaking discovery that might turn this fantasy into reality. This isn't just another space story. It's a revelation from 7 million miles away.
I read another story, an article that said that it was 45 million miles away. So I could be like mistaken. I don't know, cross wires there. I don't know which one's true, but hopefully we'll find out a bit
that could
further on.
redefine our understanding of life beyond Earth. Now, outer space isn't just about stars and planets. It's got its own version of city lights, and it's absolutely fascinating. So if you're excited about the insane revelation and want to find out who is lighting those lights, then stick to the end of the video and enjoy the mysterious story. The James Webb Space Telescope is now unveiling secrets that challenge everything we thought we knew. This telescope is not just a successor to the Hubble telescope, it's a leap forward. It's armed with the ability to see long wavelength visible light through mid-infrared wavelengths. I found myself captivated by a particular discovery from Webb, the exoplanet K218b, a celestial body located 120 light-years away in the constellation Leo. What caught my attention is that this distant world lies within the elusive habitable zone of its parent star. The very idea that somewhere out there, beyond the reaches of our imagination, lies a world where conditions might be just right for life to flourish is nothing short of extraordinary.
Now, obviously, that's exactly what the goal is. You know, we're trying to search for these planets of, you know, habitability where, you know, we could potentially popularize and, you know, take ourselves over to. So I'm going to skip forward in the video to the point where we talk about the astounding discovery of these city lights.
0.2 million views is shouting, "NASA just discovered city lights on another planet." It goes on about the James Webb Telescope revealing this groundbreaking revelation from a planet called WASP 96b, which supposedly is 7 trillion miles away and might be harboring extraterrestrial life. It sounds like a sci-fi blockbuster, doesn't it? But as it turns out, WASP 96b is a real planet, just not the city lights kind of place. It's about 1,150 light-years from us, and it's not exactly a cozy destination. This planet, announced back in 2014, is a hot mess, with temperatures soaring above 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. City lights? Not so much. Now, the James Webb Telescope is pretty amazing, but it's not catching city lights. It's a pro at detecting infrared light, which is beyond what our eyes can see in the visible spectrum. NASA's not on an extraterrestrial urban planning mission. Infrared light reveals new details in images, deepening our understanding of celestial objects. So instead of party lights on distant planets, they're more like cosmic clues to the mysteries of the universe. The telescope has this knack for unveiling secrets dating back to the beginning of everything.
Now, that's obviously one kind of hot take, excuse the pun, but in other videos, it kind of goes into a bit more depth on why this could actually be city lights. So, let's take a little look at this TikTok that I found from the TikTok page Sonda 2007.
NASA may have found city light on Proxima b. Proxima Centauri b is an exoplanet orbiting within the habitable zone of the red dwarf star, called Proxima Centauri, which is the closest star to the Sun. It is about 4.2 light-years away from Earth, and it is located in the constellation Centaurus. Scientists in NASA are planning to use James Webb Telescope to do more detailed observation of these exoplanets to see if there is life. Do you think there is extraterrestrial life on Proxima b? Let me know in the comments.
So Proxima b is supposedly this planet with the city lights, and of course is something that needs to be looked into a little bit further, because this is just from initial kind of snapshots. It's not confirmed, it's not denied, it's just this is what we can visualize. Could it be city lights, or could it just be like what was explained in the first, natural phenomena? But hopefully this video here will help to kind of shape a bit more understanding from DaveDiskey.stories. Let's take a little look at this one.
This is hard to believe, as scientists have found a dystopian, possibly dangerous, futuristic society multiplying on a nearby planet, and many are fearing what they're getting ready to do to us. News reports were calling a red warning, as headlines were showing that NASA, using the James Webb Telescope, found light patterns to look like eerie bright city lights on another planet, and many were scared as this city might be way more complex and advanced than we could ever imagine. Citizens were terrified when reports were saying that these lights could be a result of incredibly smart extraterrestrial civilizations or terrifying aliens that far exceed anything we can do. The planet is named Proxima b, and news claimed that not only do they believe this is the first proof and real sign of intelligent life in space, but it's actually very close to us, with some saying whatever is there is likely watching us too. But it is important to note the James Webb Telescope has been reported to have the ability to detect light clusters in space, but right now is not considered operational yet. The images we see of light clusters on a planet is just a render of what the telescope could catch, so don't believe all the headlines and rumors just yet.
Now, that one came across as a bit more scaremongery. You know, it's all about, oh, what could these extraterrestrials be doing? And people are terrified because this could be an advanced civilization. Well, how do we know? That's just the question that I had when I saw this. I was like, how do we know? Like, there is no proof that this is an extremely, you know, advanced civilization. This could be where humans were 300 years ago, you know, with early developments of light and early developments using candles, I don't know, but you know, the thought process is there, but I think it's too early for us to be saying or scaremongering to the point where it's like, could this be world ending? Could they be planning an invasion? They might not even know about us. If they're as far advanced as that we suspect, or these people suspect, they might not even be aware of human beings. You know, it's just food for thought at this point. Anyway, the next one comes from Neil deGrasse Tyson himself, the man, the myth, the absolute legend. And his TikTok just states, "We weren't expecting to see this from James Webb Telescope." Let's take a little look at what Mr. Neil deGrasse Tyson has to say.
The James Webb Space Telescope recently discovered galaxies where they weren't supposed to be. And I'm told the lead researcher was so shocked by this, he spit out his coffee when he realized what kind of data he had on his hands. Go back to the Big Bang and you have this cauldron of matter and energy. Well, we don't have stars yet. We don't have galaxies yet, this organizing principle of stars as they gather into cities. No, it's just matter and energy. So there's a period of time after light was sent free in the universe, because before then it was constantly interacting with matter and the universe was just a fog. Then light gets set free once we've expanded enough. This happened around 400,000 years after the Big Bang. Now light is
Now, if there's one thing that we can guarantee from Neil deGrasse Tyson, it's going to be that he's going to give us a very scientific explanation behind all of this, because, you know, he's not anti-aliens by any means. I think, you know, he's just as open-minded as the rest of us, but he does like to look for scientifical logic when approaching these situations. So, you know, he's not closed-minded from what I can gather. It's just there is a plausible explanation that he will jump to first before thinking those are city lights from an extraterrestrial civilization.
Is set free, but okay, we don't have any objects that generate light. Okay, so in this period between 400,000 years and the first stars, we call that the Dark Ages. ages. There was nothing there to radiate. Yes, there was leftover light from the Big Bang, but no objects talking to us. So we put out our best understanding of the universe for gravity and quantum physics and nuclear fusion physics and all of this. We put on our best thinking caps and say, it'll take about this long, about 1 or 2 billion years just to get the stars going. And then you need enough stars in a place to gather and make a galaxy. And a galaxy will have enough light for you to see from a great distance. It'd be very hard to see individual stars. That's our model of the early universe. So, 400,000 years, I forgot the exact, is it a billion, several hundred million, but there's a period in the Dark Ages. Now we say, we don't understand how galaxies are born. Let's make a telescope to help us. So we spec the next generation space telescope after Hubble to be exquisitely tuned to show us galaxies being born. And we expect it to show us galaxies at the end of the Dark Ages, at the birth of objects in the universe.
So for anyone that's lost, from what I can gather, now, I'm not here trying to dumb down Neil deGrasse Tyson's explanations, but that's exactly what I'm going to try and do. Probably do it wrong, but, basically the James Webb Telescope is a super telescope that's just aiming at the edge of the universe, and that's the plan. It just aims at the edge of the universe, to the point where we see things technically in the past, because by the time that the light travels to us, it will be the present, but we're seeing it from the past, if that makes sense, because the way that the light travels. Anyway, the idea is we look out, because obviously the universe is ever expanding, okay? Like, we've got brand new galaxies being born every second. And the idea is that we, like he's just explained there, we look out to the very edge of the universe, even though that's technically impossible, but, just bear with me, and we watch this galaxy be birthed. And, because of how light travels, it's just, it's an entire cluster of mind fuckery. But the smarter people than me understand it, and they thought this was a good idea, so therefore it is a good idea.
Design and build this telescope, the James Webb Space Telescope. And oh my gosh, who ordered this? We're finding galaxies in the Dark Ages. What's up with that? We had no idea. So I can give a list. What's the list? Either we don't understand how galaxies are formed. Of course, we don't fully understand it. That's why we built the telescope. But all of our understanding about matter and energy that tells us that there should be a dark age, something had to change. We got to go back and adjust that somehow in ways we don't know or understand yet. Or some new kind of object, unlike any other objects we've ever seen, had no trouble forming in the Dark Ages. Some new kind of physics that it's using and we don't know, we have no idea. Or us placing it in the Dark Ages is somehow flawed. We're basing this on just pictures of these galaxies and what their properties are via pictures. What we are waiting for now is we want to get a spectrum of those galaxies, of those objects. Let me not even call them galaxies, because they could be something else. Spectrum of those objects. And you know what a spectrum can tell us? It can tell us what chemical elements are there. What is a spectrum? It's like a rainbow is a spectrum of the sun, right? White light comes through, goes through a raindrop, out comes its component colors. If you look even more carefully at it, those colors reveal the chemistry of what's going on in the sun, the chemical elements that are there. You can also find out other things, like how fast is the sun rotating. All kinds of things you can find out when you get the spectrum. So, if we get the spectrum of these objects, we'll know what they're made of. We will even be able to better place them in distance. Maybe there's something contaminating our estimate of its distance, and maybe they're really on the edge of the Dark Ages, but somehow they're masquerading as though they're a little farther away, deep within the Dark Age. Who knows? Or, as some people love to speculate, when they encounter something they don't understand, they're aliens.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we're at. I've just been clowned on by Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he doesn't even know that he's clowned on me. Well, you know, let's just watch on.
If that's your first thought, okay, I'm not going to stop you. But generally, we leave that for the last possible guess that we would place on something that we don't understand. And so, yeah, we're still trying to figure this out. It's confounding us.
Right, so yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. That was a wide array of explanations as to what could possibly go on. You've had it from someone who's an expert, you've had it from someone who said that it's going to be alien invasion territory, and you've had it from someone who said that it's nothing more than natural phenomena, gases, and all the rest of it. So, do we know any more than when you came into the... No. Well, you might do. We've all learned something. If you didn't understand what Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about, don't worry, neither did I. But I think we're all a little bit further along. But this... I've forgotten the name of the planet. What was the planet called? Oh no, I've lost it. Proxima B, there it is. Right, Proxima B. So, Proxima B was found around this possible aurora on isolated brown dwarf. Okay, so let's break that down. What does that mean? I don't know. But the summary: infrared emission from these methane gas suggests atmospheric heating by auroral process. Astronomers using NASA's James Webb Space Telescope have found a brown dwarf, an object more massive than Jupiter but smaller than a star, that may display possible aurora like the familiar northern lights on our world. This is an unexpected mystery because the brown dwarf, known as W1935, is an isolated object in space with no nearby star to create an aurora. Aurora on Earth are made when energetic particles from the Sun are captured by our planet's magnetic field. Those particles cascade down into the atmosphere near Earth's poles, colliding with gas molecules, creating an eerie dancing curtains of light. Since W1935 has no star to generate a stellar wind, it's possible that external interactions with either interstellar plasma or a nearby active moon like Jupiter's Io may help account for the observed infrared emission. Okay, so that's another crazy thing that the James Webb Telescope has discovered very, very recently, very similarly strikingly close to this city. Now, if I sound lost within this video, it's because I absolutely am. I've spent days, literally since this first came to my attention, I've tried so hard to research this and wrap my head around it. But it's like nigh on impossible, because every time I think, right, that's the explanation for it, I see another video that's like, no, this is the explanation for it, and then another video that's like, no, this is the explanation for it, and then another video, and then Neil deGrasse Tyson's like, if you think this is aliens, well, and then I'm like, oh, for God's sake, now I feel stupid. But yeah, it's just an entire cluster of nobody fucking knows. Nobody knows right now. The issue that we've got is it's too early to tell. The idea is that yes, it does look like city lights. It does. But it could be from an array of different things causing it. It could well be an alien civilization. It could. But chances are there's a far more logical explanation, just like what Neil deGrasse Tyson tried to educate us with. I mean, if you understood what he was talking about, fair play to you, because I hadn't. And, you know, there's a wide array, and there's a wide array of different information with distances to Proxima B. People saying it's I saw 4.3 billion light years away. Initially I heard 45 billion light years away, then it was 7 million miles away, and it's just crazy. There is a lot of information being thrown about at the minute, and I feel like no one really knows what they're talking about right now. Apart from Neil deGrasse Tyson, obviously. I'm gonna, you know, take his as the most logical explanation for all of this. But with all that said, I had this utter mess and dump it on you guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Do you think this is an alien civilization, or is there a far more logical explanation for this? Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Yeah, it's just chaos. And while you're down there, be sure to jump to the hell out of that like button if you have enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new and tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload. And until next time, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed. I cannot wait to see you in the next one. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.